I can't really see you guys right now, but how's it going? It is freaking bright out right now. Oh my god. This is a very special week. We're going to talk about it more going forward here, but this is the last week before the taper. You probably can't even see it, my blonde, horrible mustache. Yeah, I was just feeling a little bit quirky yesterday when I was shaving, and this is where we ended up. We are out here starting our final week before the marathon taper. Now I want to talk a little bit about last week, we'll get into that, but here we are, feeling a little bit better. Don't feel great, a little bit sluggish, but we're just gonna do 6 this morning. It is really sunny, as you can tell by the stark contrast and shadow on my face. So let's talk a little bit about last week first. I pretty much only ran 3 days last week. I guess technically 4, because on Tuesday I ran 3 miles. But I've just been battling this nagging sharp pain in my quad. I'm not trying to go too crazy at this point. We're too close to the race to do that. But I ran 53 miles in basically 3 days. Took Friday, Saturday, Sunday off because I just felt like I needed it. And here we are. I still feel the pain. Not as bad, but I think I'm just gonna straight up tape it with that kinesio tape and see what happens. 1 more week though. If we can, I'd like to get a solid 100 pluser in and then officially start the taper. And there's the turnaround point. 3 miles. Just taking it easy this morning. It's actually starting to warm up right now. Got the sleeves rolled up. It was like 43 when I went out the door. It's gonna be like 65 later today when we're back out here. I think my body's starting to warm up a little bit, but man, I'm surprised. I thought after taking a couple days off, it would give me the breath of life. It didn't. I don't really feel that much better. I haven't felt good in 2 weeks. Not a single day have I felt good. So I'd rather feel bad now than during race time. And one thing I've noticed about marathon training is this stuff kind of comes in waves like this, so I'm not too worried. And if the pattern continues, by race day I should feel good. 6 miles done this morning, and I'll be fair and say the first run of every week is always a little bit of a doozy. You never really feel like pristine. And granted, I've done literally nothing this week, right? It's Monday morning, so clean slate. Yeah, I got a bunch to do in between now and our next run, which we'll do God knows when. It is so nice out right now. There are no clouds in the sky though. It would be nice to have some coverage every now and again. Man, if I keep this up, I'm gonna be a nice, tan, handsome boy this summer. When the weather's nice, it's nice because a lot of really cool people come outside, but also a lot of twats. I just had a run-in with 4 people walking 4 wide on this narrow trail. And naturally, none of them moved, so I had to give them the classic thumbs down. You may be thinking, how immature of you, Zach. Psychological warfare, really? Just move past it. Some people need to remember this going forward. They gotta remember to be conscious of other people around them. Sorry for complaining so much, but I'm gonna complain a little bit more. Just had a few similar situations back there as well, dude. Why can't people just pay attention to what's going on around them? They have like this kid pulled out in front of me on his scooter. I thought he was gonna stay left, and then just grown ass adults. And I have to keep running onto this grassy knoll over here. The first time I rolled my ankle because I stepped in a hole because the grass was so high it looked level. I'm an introvert, in case you couldn't tell. Anyway, I took a cold shower this morning. Felt pretty savage after that. Been trying to do that more often. It's brutal shit, man. I may take another one after this if I'm feeling brave enough. It's tough because you step in the shower, cold water, and you literally start hyperventilating. You're like, your body's literally in shock. And then you adjust, and towards the end, you feel like a rock star when you get out. That's the thing. But it's so hard to do. We picked it up a little bit there because I got hyped up. This is what I was talking about earlier. There's cool people on the trail too. I passed this guy, and he was deep African, truly African. Sounded like New Guinean or something. He was hyping me up, man. I was getting so hype. I don't think he spoke English too well because I was trying to talk to him yeah, man, you keep it up too, you're the shit. And he's like, I'll see you at the marathon. And I'm like, what are you doing? And he goes, and he just said something random. He just didn't understand me, but what a man. What a guy. 10 miles this evening, 16 on the day. We made it. We survived another one. We're off right now. It's Tuesday morning, 8 a.m. Gonna do 10 to 11 miles this morning before work. It's cold. My hands are freezing. And I just do not want to be out here right now. Just not in the mood today. Compared to yesterday, it's very empty out here. Not quiet though. I feel like I'm in the Lord of the Rings or the Legend of Zelda right now. All the creatures are sounding off in the forest, trying to flex on one another. They're like, wake up bitch, it's spring. Halfway there, we're gonna do 10 this morning and we still have to double later anyway, so we'll be fine. I'm warming up as well in pretty much every sense of the word. The sun feels warmer. It's actually quite pleasant out now. And my legs are feeling a lot better. There's mile 9. One more to go. This morning's misery is this evening's happiness. I just came up with that. I'm sure it's been said before, but I feel really like a poet. I feel really insightful right now. We made it. 10 miles in this morning, and I gotta get ready for work. I'll see you guys in a bit. Hey everyone, it's Thursday, which means it's medium long today, and as you can probably tell, I didn't run yesterday. We're gonna talk about that on our run. It's very nice. It's like 72 degrees. Woo! It's a scorcher this morning. It's about 11:15, and legs are, I mean, the last few weeks I felt awful. I haven't had like a day where I'm like, wow, I feel okay. But my legs actually feel comparatively pretty good. So I'm still trying to adjust to this weather. There's not a cloud in the sky, so it's like all direct. There's a little bit of shade here on the trail right now as we approach 1 mile. And I hope whatever I'm going through, I just hope it clears up soon because yeah, I just genuinely don't feel good. I have no pickup in my legs. I feel like I've just been going through the motions every day. Not even at 3 miles yet. I think the heat is starting to get to me a little bit. Once again, I'm not used to it, but I think I'm just gonna have to go through the motions again today. Normally on my medium longs, I like to go at a brisk pace. Nothing crazy, no tempo effort, but nice moderate pace. I don't think I'm doing that today. Maybe I'll feel better on the latter half, but we got a while to go. I just want to get through this. Here's the turnaround point at about 1 hour and 30 seconds. Fun fact, this is the furthest I've ever been out on this part of the trail, so that's kind of fun. Get a nice downhill section for the next few miles. Slowed it down a good bit the last few, but we're gonna make it. That downhill section felt real nice comparatively. But let's talk about the last few days. On Tuesday I did my 10 miles that morning, went to work, and I figured I'd do 4 that evening when I got back. But when I got back, my dad and my brother wanted to order out, so we got some food. And by the time I was all done and just, I'm sitting there, it's late, I'm just like, all right, I just won't do it. A little lazy, but whatever. Next day, I was really lazy. It was no bueno. It was like one of the worst lazy days I've had in a while. You know, like those days when you do absolutely nothing and you're more tired than you would be if you were actually expending energy. So woke up, I'm like, pushed my ventilator, just kept eating, snacking, lounging, being a piece of shit, for lack of a better word. And yeah, that's where we're at. Feel bad about it. I'm angry with myself, but I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I just didn't run yesterday because of laziness. 5.5 miles to go. In case you live around the Pittsburgh area, I'm getting off the Montour Trail right now. Here's the connector. Now I'm on the Panhandle. The Panhandle's paid for another 2 or so miles as I head back home, then it turns back to gravel. I'm really going through it right now, guys. 1 more to go. It's getting noticeably hotter, and I really need water. Oh my God. If that wasn't a taste of what this summer is gonna be like, I don't know what is. That was one of the most draining, tiring runs I've done in a long time, but we made it. I'm so proud of how we held on. We stayed tough because from the get-go we felt I felt really bad. Like from the moment I left the house, we just kept our composure when we had little. We had no confidence, we had no morale. That's what we're looking for.
Hello. Gonna down some strawberries and bananas real quick. Oh, question for you. What would you say is like the goated fruit? Honestly, I might have to go with strawberries. They very rarely let me down. But strawberries and bananas together, it's the ultimate combo.
What the heck is going on, guys? I am up before 8 a.m. It's Friday, so we gotta get some easy miles in before we head to work. Let's get going. I'm gonna try to do 10 to 11 this morning and probably slow down a little bit more. This weather is like pristine, especially compared to yesterday. I was literally on the brink of death. It had me so drained. Are these bugs or is that pollen? That's pollen, bro. Oh no. Oh no, this is gonna hit me. But still feel the sharp pain that I've been talking about in the last few videos right here. I don't know if you can see. Right here in that inner groin area is like a sharp pain and around the knee. It's all stemming from my weak ass hips. In other words, I'm gonna be perpetually in pain until I actually take the time to stop being a bitch and strengthen that area and stretch it, just open it up. I'm just so dumb. I neglect to do it all the time. Okay, I was wrong. That's not pollen. Those are all gnats. I just had a spitting fit in front of some random person because one flew into my mouth. They're everywhere, dude. I can feel them like kamikazeing my face. Back into town now at mile 8. That mile was a little fast, but we've been consistently cranking out 7:30s. I'm glad I woke up a little bit earlier than I normally do when I didn't have to. So now I don't have to be in a rush to get out the door here. I'm gonna go to work like I've said before, and then afterwards I promise we'll do a double. We need to do a double. And yeah, legs started to open up a little bit towards the end there. I still kept the pace consistent at like 7:30. I'm like a metronome, man. Good way to start the day.
Oh, sweet Jesus. Got myself some of the driest lo mein from Panda.
It's hot as balls.
Wow. Orange chicken and some kung pao chicken. It's gonna be very nice. I'm gonna let that digest and then I'm gonna have to go and run in a couple hours. It is about 8:30 at night here and I'm heading out for my second run of the day. Probably doing 4 or 5 miles, nice and chill. So it's very nice out right now. It's just dark, which always makes things a little sus. Coming up on 2 miles here. I forgot it was Friday night. Everybody's out. A bunch of kids yelled "fuck you" at me earlier. Here they come again. I also just had a couple drunks sitting outside the dive bar. Yell "run, Forrest, run." Beautiful. Things you love to hear. Just got back, guys. Pleasant-ish. 5 miles this evening. I'll be honest, just a lot of people just yelling a lot of really strange and quite frankly rude things. There's a line between funny and just like really pushing it. And yeah, I mean, it's a Friday night, everyone's probably drinking, but yeah, kind of lame, kind of lame.
Nine miles this morning. Every fiber of my being just wanted to skip this morning. I got up at like 6:30 to do this and I'm just glad it's done. Gotta go to work here in a little bit. Pretty much the same routine as yesterday, and then I'll do a run afterwards. Maybe some hills, we'll see how I'm feeling. I also swallowed a bug around mile 2 and I was just hacking for 3 miles. I thought I was gonna die, but seem to be clear of it now. I hate bugs. I hate bugs, in case you couldn't tell. I'm about to take a freezing cold shower. Please pray for me. Actually, this isn't that bad. It's usually pretty rough. Job done. It's hot, man. Very sunny again. Looking to do about 3 miles, maybe a few more. But I'll be honest with you, I'm pretty beat. I was thinking about doing some hill sprints, but that's not gonna happen. And it's time to turn around. I've chosen to do 3, and I've chosen it for a very specific reason, because it's what it's for. 2 miles in, 1 more to go on the day. Let's finish this out. Nice little 3-miler here to end the day here. I'm very hungry, and my hip is really bothering me today, so that's no bueno, but we're literally just taking it one day at a time. Got a piece that runs right down the outside of my right quad, kind of up my hip. It's kind of peeking out at the back there, and the rest would be a little too inappropriate to show you. Hey punks, it's Sunday, and guess what we're doing today? Absolutely nothing. I'm not running today, no long run again. I know, I kind of feel bad about it, but at the same time, this is the smart move. And I think we're gonna finish with like 70, we're gonna finish at like 70 plus miles this week in only 5 days of running, which I am happy with. And I guess this kind of ends things. Tomorrow we start the taper, even though I've low-key been tapering the last few weeks. The reason why I'm doing things this way is just, dude, I'm struggling. I just do not feel good. I have not felt good in weeks. Yesterday, my hips on both sides, it's like a different sort of pain. It's like, I don't even know how to explain it. Fatigue, they're pulling, they're sharp pains. What's today? The 16th? We're so close, man. I don't think I'd be able to wrap my brain around not being able to do the race after all of this training, because yeah, you've seen the videos, the build up towards this, which I started in like October, which is a really long time. But before that, like months before I started making these videos, I was training for this. It would just be demoralizing, honestly. We're just gonna focus on these next few weeks, sharpening up. The volume's gonna drop considerably, which I really need, because I feel like I'm actually starting to burn out a little bit, even mentally. Like, it's just a chore to do everything now, even regardless of how I feel. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. The videos will continue, don't you worry. Give the video a thumbs up if you haven't already, I'd appreciate it. Hit that subscribe button for more content. There's a playlist in the description if you're new to this channel and haven't seen any of these videos yet. You can watch it from the beginning if you want. So there's a lot of cool content in the last few months. And of course, I make a lot of other videos too. So that's kind of where we're at right now. I'm gonna survive, don't you worry.